Mark Tedford is asking District 1 voters to send him to Congress largely on experience. He points to decades in business, years in insurance, and service in the Oklahoma House. That is a fair qualification to offer, but experience is valuable only if it produces judgment. One bill Tedford carried gives voters a clear test. Tedford's campaign presents his private sector background and his Oklahoma House record as evidence that he is ready for Congress. Voters do not have to reject that argument out of hand, but they should test it. The key question is not whether he has experience. The question is what kind of judgment that experience produced when he already had a vote. In 2025, Tedford became the principal House author of Senate Bill 726. The bill dealt with property insurance claims and an existing 15% annual interest protection for policyholders who prevail in court. This was not some issue outside Tedford's field. It sat directly inside his insurance expertise. The 15% rule matters because interest changes the incentives. If an insurance company can hold disputed money while litigation drags on, delay can become profitable. The rule gives insurers a reason to resolve legitimate claims instead. SB 726 would have carved property insurance claims out of that protection. For Oklahoma homeowners facing storm, fire, or tornado damage, that is not a small change. Then Representative Emily Guys pressed Tedford on why Oklahoma should remove the protection. She asked the question that changed the debate. Who requested the bill? Tedford's answer became the center of the debate. Watch the floor exchange next.
Senate Bill 726 by Tedford of the House and Reinhardt of the Senate, an act relating to insurance.
Representative Tedford, recognized to explain the bill.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Senate Bill 726 is a bill that adds property insurance to the section of law that exempts uninsured motorists from certain court costs. Yield for question and move for passage.
Member yields. Chairman Osborne, for what purpose?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Move to strike title at the author's request.
It's a proper motion. Without objection, that'll be the order. Back on the bill as amended. The members yielded to questions. Representative Geis, you're recognized for a question on the bill as amended.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Representative, thank you for the conversation we had prior. Can you please help explain to me why we are removing the 15% penalty that would enforce timeliness, as it's our only existing mechanism for timeliness at this time? How does that help our constituents, especially mine in Tornado Alley, or Speaker Hilbert's with the fire damage, or my deskmate in Atoka who had the tornado damage?
Thank you for the question. So this bill, the exemption for uninsured motorists was made because that is considered to be a first-party claim, and property claims are similarly first-party claims. The disputes that I see on property claims are not normally a failure to offer to settle, but the disputes are on settlement amount, on an appraisal. So in my opinion, adding this extension, it exempts it from several things, including that section. And the idea is that I don't think we're seeing a lot of claims out there that are, the issue is that within 60 days, the carrier has not responded at all. Normally, they may have responded with a settlement amount that may be less, and that's what's pushing forward maybe a dispute. But that's the thinking behind that. These are first-party claims and be treated a little differently than third-party claims.
For follow-up.
Thank you for that. May I ask who requested this?
This is a State Farm request bill.
Seeing no further questions, Representative Tedford now moves that Senate Bill 726 be advanced to general order.
After the exchange, the House vote was not close. SB 726 had passed the Senate 40-7 and cleared House committee. But on the House floor, it failed 72-18. That was not a routine close defeat. It was a bipartisan rejection inside a Republican-controlled House. Experienced legislators do not win every vote. Good bills sometimes lose and bad bills sometimes pass. But 72-18 is different. It raises questions about whether Tedford underestimated the objections, failed to see how vulnerable the bill was, or believed he could defend it and discovered that he could not. None of those possibilities strengthens the experience argument. A legislator must understand more than technical bill language. He has to know who asked for the change, who benefits from it, who pays for it, and whether it can be defended in public. SB 726 failed that public test. Tedford's insurance background should not automatically be treated as a negative. Expertise can help government understand complicated markets. But it can also give an industry someone inside the legislature who knows exactly which statutes it wants changed. That is why judgment matters more, not less. Congress is larger, more complicated, and surrounded by even more money and lobbying than the Oklahoma legislature. A member of Congress has to know whose request he is carrying and whether he can defend it to the people he represents. That is judgment. District 1 voters do not have to guess what kind of judgment Tedford might bring to office. He already has a legislative record. A major insurance company wanted Oklahoma law changed. Tedford carried the bill. He acknowledged it was a State Farm request. The House rejected it 72-18. When you run on experience, your record becomes the interview. The issue is not whether Tedford has experience. The issue is what kind of judgment that experience produced. District 1 voters should decide whether SB 726 looks like the judgment they want representing them in Congress. Follow the money at wlangdon.substack.com.